Thunder Bay City officials speak publicly about the decision to once again recommend Miles Street for a temporary shelter village. Good evening, I'm Ryan Bonazzo. Thank you for joining us. It's the second time in the past 9 months that city staff are recommending the Miles Street property. The site was rejected by council back in November, but since then at least 4 other sites have been recommended and voted down. City officials held a news conference today to speak about going back to square one. They insist Miles Street is the most cost-effective and the closest to services. Jessa Clement has the details.
Weeks of reviewing various sites, including ones that have already been presented to council. City staff say 114 Miles Street East is still the best location to have the temporary shelter village.
It's the most cost-effective of the options. It's the closest to services. There's over 14 services, supportive services that people who are experiencing homelessness are known to access in the area. There's a transit hub nearby. All those things lend to the success of the people living in the area.
The recommendation will be brought to council this Monday. If approved and built, the site would see 80 heated and air-conditioned units with shared washrooms, meals, and 24/7 staffing. Encampment response lead Riley Willinen says the deadline for the $2.8 million grant from the province to have all the units ready has been extended to February 27th of next year.
Part of the extension does require that 40 units are delivered and constructed by December 15th, ready for a phased approach to occupancy. So what this extension allows is more time for the construction. It really does not allow for more time for a site selection.
Director of Strategy and Engagement Cynthia Olson says the village being completed is a crucial step towards addressing the ongoing homelessness crisis.
Without the village and without adequate, accessible, truly accessible indoor options for people to access, we don't have any ability to help people move along.
Residents are already voicing their concerns, with a petition posted online opposed to the site. The Fort William BIA is also surprised Miles Street is back on the table.
It's just surprising, out of a pool of 50 properties, that it's circled back to this.
This latest recommendation also asks that an eye on the street camera be added in the Miles and Simpson Street area, and that $125,000 be added to the Fort William BIA's annual budget. Vice Chair Tony DiPaolo says they're currently polling their members to see if their opinions have changed.
To be offered money for our concerns, I'm glad that the city was able to listen to some of our concerns, but our concerns are what the people want. Again, it's not our area. There are businesses that surround this Miles Street location and residents. They don't seem to be addressed or offered anything.
McKellar Ward Councillor Brian Hamilton, who originally voted against the Miles Street property, says the location meets all the hallmarks for a great site.
It's less than ideal. Nobody wants homelessness. Nobody wants to live on the street. Homeless people don't want to live on the street either. But here we are, and we're in this housing crisis, and we have to address it head on.
If the recommendation passes on Monday, it will then have to be ratified at the next council meeting. Jessa Clement, TBT News.
Thunder Bay Transit is temporarily moving the Waterfront bus terminal to a nearby on-street location. That's because the current facility on Water Street is about to undergo more than $3 million worth of renovations. City officials say once complete, the upgraded terminal will be much more convenient for both passengers and transit operators. Jaden Billick reports.
Renovations at the Waterfront Transit Terminal near Marina Park are set to begin on Monday as the aging facility receives some much-needed upgrades. Manager of Transit Services Brad Loroff says the work aims to enhance safety and make the terminal more convenient for Thunder Bay Transit users, especially since it's the busiest terminal in the network.
A rebuild of the interior passenger waiting areas and expansion of the space of that area. It's going to have accessibility features, new passenger information signs, route destination signs, the building's heating system. All of the work that's being done is in keeping with the city's net zero strategy. So there's a lot that's going to be happening here in the coming months.
During the 4 months of the renovations, transit users will need to catch their buses on Cumberland Street North between Van Norman and Camelot Streets. That section of the roadway will be closed to regular traffic. Bus users will have access to temporary shelters, and signage will be in place to guide riders on where they need to go.
We'll also have some staff here for our start of service on Monday to help folks navigate their way around that'll be followed by permanent signage later in the week. There are some bus shelters that have been installed to try and offer some protection from the elements as the project goes on over the summer.
Laura says the fully renovated bus terminal should be ready sometime in November. Until then, information about temporary bus route changes can be found on the Thunder Bay Transit website. Jaden Billick, TBT News.
Thunder Bay Landfill officials are making it a bit easier for residents in Westfort and other parts of the city who were impacted by that major windstorm on Canada Day. Environment Canada says the downburst brought wind speeds of over 90 kilometers an hour. It toppled hundreds of trees, mainly in a small section of Westfort. In response, the city is offering vouchers for one free tipping fee at the landfill on Maple Ward Road. The vouchers are for yard waste only and only for the affected households. Manager Jason Sherban says they wanted to ease the burden of dealing with this blowdown material and ensure it's properly disposed of. The free drop-off vouchers expire on August 31st. Residents can contact the solid waste and recycling facility to request a voucher that can either be mailed out or picked up at the landfill administration building. A dire warning today from the union that represents about 55,000 college faculty and staff members here in Ontario. OPSU says close to 10,000 college employees have either already been let go or are projected to lose their jobs amid hundreds of program cuts and suspensions across the province since last year. It's largely due to the federal government's cap on international students. The union calls it one of the largest mass layoffs in Ontario's history.
I don't have sick days. I don't have vacation time. I can't plan my future or find things to look forward to, because my present is a hamster wheel that feels like it's spinning off a cliff. And in the meantime, it is my job to stand in front of my students every week and get them excited about their own futures. Help them prepare for those futures when I can't even imagine my own.
If they had a realistic investment in students, what they would look at is actually funding the system adequately to bring us up to par, to not keep us at the lowest per student funding across Canada.
More than 600 college programs, including some here in Thunder Bay, have been cancelled or suspended across Ontario since the international student cap took effect. A 23-year-old man from Quebec is facing a stunt driving charge after being caught speeding excessively near Nipigon this past weekend. OPP say the car was going 57 kilometers over the speed limit on Highway 1117. Officers pulled over the driver on July 5th around 11 a.m. after clocking the vehicle at 147 kilometers an hour in a posted 90K zone. The driver's license was suspended for 30 days and their vehicle was impounded for 14 days. Shelter House Thunder Bay is getting ready for a community-wide fundraiser. This Saturday, local residents will hold yard sales around the city in support of the shelter and community clothing assistance. This is the first time Shelter House officials have organized a fundraiser like this after development manager Champagne Thompson heard about similar fundraisers in Southern Ontario. They're hoping to get dozens of homeowners on board as a way to get rid of household items they don't need anymore. All cash proceeds will go to the Shelter House to fund its vital services, and all of the unsold items would go to Clothing Assistance and its thrift store on May Street.
On July 12th, we've partnered with Community Clothing Assistance and First Wesley United Church to be able to host a community-wide garage sale. It has been inspired by something similar in Southern Ontario that I've participated in down home, where we encourage everyone in the community to host a garage sale at the same time on the same day. They submit their address to us via an MS form, and then we create a map the day before the event so that shoppers know where they can hit up. Then what happens is, as staff, we'll go around afterwards to collect the financial proceeds as well as anything that hasn't sold.
Local residents can still sign up for this Saturday. There's more info on the Shelter House Facebook page. For the first time this coming weekend, Thunder Bay is playing host to the Afro Vibe Festival. It all kicks off Saturday at noon with a parade from Waverley Park to Marina Park featuring African-inspired ceremonial attire and horses.
The atmosphere is going to be electric. From the parade, the kickoff or to the parade to the concert time is going not to be a time for me to go for, okay, let me go home first. No, it's going to be a time of, experience.
Breland is the festival director and owner of the African Boutique at Goods & Co. The two-day event at the Waterfront will celebrate the vibrant rhythms, culture, and diversity of the African-Canadian community with food, music, arts, and more. One of the entertainers is 6-time Juno Award winner Exco Levi and his reggae band High Priest.
Go and buy your ticket today. You don't want to go on and stand on the line on the 12th. You want to be able to get your ticket ahead and go and come and witness the beauty and make the history. I think this festival is going to be known by the generation yet unborn, because it's going to mark the first of the many of this kind of festival.
More information about the event, including ticket prices, can be found on the website afrovibesfest.ca. Let's turn to the weather now. And Haley, it was just a gorgeous day out there. Plenty of sunshine and great temperatures to boot.
Yeah, absolutely. I would actually call this Haley's perfect day. If I could give Mother Nature a gold star, I would. I mean, I guess tonight there will be plenty of stars, so she'll get her flowers then for sure. But yeah, today, no complaints at all. A high of 24 that we saw around 4 o'clock this afternoon and has continued on for the past few hours. The humidex making it feel just about 2 degrees warmer, so still in that really comfortable range. And like Ryan said, mainly sunny all day too, so really getting to soak up all that good energy from the sun. And winds relatively light for most of the day. There was a few gusty periods from the southeast, but always below 30 kilometers an hour, so not too bad. And our overnight low was 10 degrees too, so still staying in the double digits. As for our region, now areas to the west, we were predicting quite a strong humidex today, making it feel around 30 to 31 at times, but it wasn't quite as severe. Now, still around the 30 mark for Red Lake and Kenora. Those are our hotter areas. Now they're at 27 right now, and mainly cloudy skies in areas like Red Lake. But they also saw some winds today from the south-southeast, similar to us, but a little more consistently gusty in Red Lake, not as bad in Kenora, and also quite calm down in Fort Frances. They're nice and sunny right now, and their humidex made it feel like 29. So like I said, still hot, but not as hot as we were previously predicting. Now, areas like Dryden were lovely and sunny today as well. And then we saw really just calm, comfortable temperatures for a majority of the region elsewhere, with humidex only making it feel around 1 to 2 degrees hotter than what we're seeing on our map here. Now, Greenstone, they've been mainly sunny all day. Now they're very sunny at this hour. Wawa has been a little bit cloudier. They were one of the cloudier places in the region today, so they haven't hit as hot as other areas. They had a high of 23 today, now at 22, and Sault Ste. Marie is now at 23, but that's lovely for them. They did have an overnight thunderstorm last night, so it's taken them a little bit longer to warm up, but their skies have been clearing and it's lovely there now. As for Thunder Bay tonight, we should have a clear night. Like I mentioned, the stars should be out. A low of 7, very comfortable, and winds from the southwest, but light. Now that it's Wednesday, I figured we'll do a little look ahead. We should enjoy a beautiful and comfortable Thursday, kind of a repeat of what we saw today in Thunder Bay. However, unfortunately, after that, there's a chance of showers for the foreseeable future. Not consistent throughout the weekend. We'll see fluctuations of that chance going up and down, so stay tuned because I'll give you more on that. But the sun will still make an appearance. It won't be consistently rainy and showery. We still will see some sun, which will be nice. I know a lot of people will be making their plans for the weekend. So hopefully, Ryan, I can help you plan ahead a little bit. And although it'll be a nice, clear, calm night in Thunder Bay tonight, there are some areas to the west that could get a little bit of a pop-up surprise. So I'll also have details on that later.
Okay, thanks a lot, Haley.